Right, folks. So we have the next one all ready to go, and it is going to be Tduva with driver parallel lines. So I'm going to pass it over to him now, and enjoy the marathon. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you later on.
Yeah, you're live. Don't worry. If you're ready to do it, you're live, so feel free to go for it.
So there was a countdown.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, I'm Tduva, this is driver parallel lines, and I guess I'll count down to start the timer.
Yeah, give us a countdown, and then we'll go.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, right at the start here I want to find a bike, which I did, and also got rammed very nicely. That can sometimes happen. So this first mission is kind of weird because, as you can see, I am a getaway driver, but I leave my client behind. So I kind of fail the mission, but I can still continue. And taking the bike is a little bit faster, because you don't have to stop midway through. And it also just, well, has a bit higher top speed. It saves about 5 to 10 seconds. It's not worth it if you don't find one immediately, but if you do, it's nice. So I'm taking this very specific path to the park, which gets me where I need to go quickly. Traffic here can be a bit annoying sometimes. These alleyways I have to be kind of careful not to crash into too much stuff. Taking a bit slow today, I guess. So this run has got a few new skips and stuff since, I guess, since some of them are quite difficult and a bit random, so let's see if I can pull them off, hopefully. Driving bikes in this game can take some getting used to. When I first started it was not very easy, but I kind of like it now. Well, shouldn't have said anything, I guess. Don't know what that was. Anyway, just have to drive into the garage a little bit, not even into the marker. And then I drive forwards a little bit, so I'm far enough from the marker to be able to teleport to it. because that's the thing in this game, at least on the PC version, you can just go to the map, hover your mouse over a marker, mission marker or whatever, and then press T to teleport to it, which is obviously very useful in the speedrun. You can also use WASD to select the marker, so you don't even have to manually move the mouse over it, which is quite handy for speed. So yeah, I'm just getting this car back to the garage to tune it up a little bit. It's just a garage tutorial basically. And the garage is pretty useful because once you drive a vehicle into it, you save the vehicle in the garage. So even if you drive it out somewhere and leave it on the road somewhere, when you go back to the garage it will be there. So it's quite useful. Alright, this time I need to drive into the marker.
I want to show you how things work around here. This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
Track of current vehicle conditions like heat, damage, and any nitros you've got. Over here is where we deal with the vehicle characteristics like handling, acceleration, and top speed. You also get the vehicle name here and what you got to spend on it here. Right. Let's start by putting this heap of junk back together. Out on the street, you're gonna pick up. Okay, good. So now I got plenty of spare parts lying around. It's okay, kid, that's enough. I got a business to run. Okay, kid, you can always change your mind later on. You're gonna be doing plenty of work on plenty of cars in this garage.
Alright, so that menu is always the same, so you can just learn it. I was a bit slow at one part because you can select which upgrade you buy for one part. And usually I would always take the default option, which I think is like tinted glass or something. I don't know. Wait, what was it? I don't know. Either way, now I want to buy the bulletproof tires because I need them. Well, I want them for safety, for a trick later. I try to mention it then. But yeah, you just tune up the car, then drive quickly through these markers, which I want to do anyway, so not much issue there. So at the end of... Yeah?
Oh god. Go on now, I was going to say, I'll let you go.
At the end of this I want to find a bike. Wow. I did not see that car, okay. Because I'm gonna have to repair the car later. Yeah, at the end of this I want to find a bike to store for a later mission. And there seems to be one parked right there and also one driving there, so should be fine.
I was going to say, is the bike, like, would you say the bike's RNG when it spawns? Because it seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't always spawn.
Okay,
Sure.
Slink, get in touch on a landline, huh? I'm gonna lose the set of dials. I feel like I'm in that convoy movie.
Got some memorable quotes in this game too. A lot of it's now it's stuck in my head after, because I remember doing runs of this a while back, and I remember a lot of it's just kind of, it gets stuck in your head after a bit.
Yeah.
Just like going, that's real nice.
This is the on-foot shooty parts tutorial, which this game also has. Teaches you how to do lock-on and stuff, and also manual aim, but I almost never use manual aim in the run because it's kind of awful, even with the mouse. Alright, here's another chance where you could find a bike, but it's even less likely to happen. So that's why I want to store one before. It's a bit faster if you could get one here, but it's just not very likely to happen. I mean, there's one there. Alright, now I need to teleport to this garage, because for this mission I need money, or for the next mission, and I'll also need money for tuning later. So I'm going to have to there's a few different ways to get money. Like this is basically the tutorial for earning money, because the missions themselves don't actually earn you any money, essentially. So what I'm going to do is ram into a donut stand, and then the cops get angry at me, and I have to lose them within 15 seconds to earn enough money. Ouch. Which can be quite difficult, because for one you have to do it right, but you also have to be a bit lucky so that the police AI behaves and loses you quickly enough. So we'll see how this goes. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna repeat this mission again and try to get enough money that way. And it's not gonna work because I got a police spawn right ahead of me, unluckily. Which almost never happens, but well. So when you finish this within 15 seconds, you get what is called the perfect driver bonus, which is a one-time thing where you get 10,000. So unfortunately I didn't get it, I didn't even get 2,000. So I'm gonna... Normally this would be a reset, but I'm just gonna turn around and try it again, I guess. This police behind me is kind of annoying. It's already going well. Wow. So you have to drive a little bit further away for the mission to appear again, for the donut stat to appear again. This lamppost, unbelievable. At least I didn't have the lamppost anymore, because I already rammed into it. Okay, let's see if this works.
That lamppost is going to be the death of you.
So now you can do the perfect driver bonus in different ways. Like the way that I did it the first time, or you can also drive into the alleyway and do it that way. So now I got it, so I can continue. Otherwise I would have had to collect more money, like 2,000 at a time. And this took really long. Normally getting the money isn't even any slower than like the old strats. But yeah, it's just really annoying because you have to rely on the police not spawning and the police like losing you quickly enough, which can depend on stuff like whether they turn around quickly and whatnot. Alright, so in this mission you just have to... This is basically the wanted level tutorial. Or the heat tutorial as it's called in this game.
Man, this guy's stubborn.
So you just have to get heat on the car, then lose the police and get out. Alright, wait for the missions to spawn. This mission marker is a bit weird. If you just use WASD to select it, then you won't actually teleport to the mission. But you have to like walk into the mission marker first. But if you move the marker down a little bit, the mouse rather down a little bit, then you teleport right into the mission. It's like there are two different spots, like one you teleport to and the mission, and in this case they're not really at the same space, at the same place. Don't think there's any other mission like that. Alright, so in this mission you just have to drive around, collect some cars and drive them back to the starting place. Hooking them up can be tricky sometimes. At least for me. Oh yeah, you also get chased and potentially shot. So if you're really unlucky, then you can get your tire shot, which means the truck is driving really slowly. Or the car can just really annoy you. Yeah, that car's still chasing me. Normally it's not an issue, but I mean... The marathon, so clearly the game wants to show off all the content.
Because yeah, clearly it's the game's in that mood where it's like, I know, I don't just mess up deliberately. Let's see how much of the game I can really show off.
So when I drop off the car there, it needs to stay in like the area. It can't, like, sometimes it happens that it rolls back onto the road and then I have to go back and push it back in, which is quite annoying. This location is kind of interesting because you have to cross train tracks twice, and sometimes a train will come. Oh, you see one there actually. Which is in particular very fun when you don't expect it and you just suddenly get rammed by a train. It seems to be based on the time somehow, because in a regular run, when I'm a bit faster or a bit slower, then it comes at different times. But shouldn't be any more trains now, doesn't seem to come that often.
That alarm is driving me crazy.
Finally driving over grass like this, or uneven terrain, I'm not sure what it is. You actually go faster when carrying a car. Like you see, I'm almost going 100, which you usually can't if you don't go off-road, which seems kind of counterintuitive. But, well. Alright. So it told me I left the car behind, but it's just because I unhooked it before I got fully in, but it rolled in, so the only like time where you have to worry about it is when you look on the mini-map and the marker isn't on the next car but still on the one that you just like dropped off. Alright, it's the last car. So after this, I want to immediately tune up this tow truck, but not in a normal way. Instead, I'm going to fully tune up the car that I already did a little bit earlier, like add more tuning to it, and then transfer the tuning from that car to this truck. And it's not really intended, of course. But it means that this truck is more tuned up afterwards than it should be able to, which is quite useful for some tricks later. So take this, teleport in the garage. Now I want to select the other car, and I need to repair it first because I kind of crashed it a little bit, and then tune it up all the way, get nitrous, and then go back out, store it, messing it up a little bit, and then select the entry vehicle. And now that car is black and has the nitrous and stuff like that in the tuning. And now I want to select the bike and go on to the next mission. So the way it works is you drive the tow truck, in this case, into the garage. So it's now the vehicle you entered the garage with. And then you select another vehicle that has been tuned up all the way, and that can also have like more tuning than... Really? I never had a car go over the road there. Usually I could close my eyes and still not crash on this road. Well. So yeah, I drive the truck in, I get a tuned up vehicle that is tuned up more than I could the tow truck. And then I store it, like even though it's already stored, you have to like select the store vehicle option. And then you select switching back to the entry vehicle. And that transfers the tuning onto the entry vehicle, so in this case the tow truck. Which makes it a lot faster than it's supposed to be.
More than a few flies buzzing around.
And the same trick is going to be used later as well to transfer tuning onto the Ram Raider.
So quickly asked Tduva, what's your favourite era? Would you say 78 or 2006?
It's hard to tell.
It can be either for missions, but it's up to you. Which one would you prefer?
What'd you do, Sling? Advertise? Who else knows about this money?
I think I like the style of this area a bit better. But in regards to missions, I mean, there's like the second era is like, in regards to the speedrun, the second era is at least shorter, so that's good.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it like in 78 you're in for about an hour and a bit, and then 06 is like 40 minutes or something? It's ridiculous.
Ain't this city just rammed full of opportunists? You know what we're here for, man?
But I'd say both eras have good and annoying missions, I don't know.
So right. Have you got a favourite mission? Or are you just kind of in the middle?
The cash, man. No way you can do this, man.
I think it probably changes a little bit, probably depending on which mission I like found strats for most recently or something, like fun strats maybe, or good improvements. It's more like that, I guess. But in regards to like which mission I like to play, like I like driving the bike, so bike missions, I guess. But in general, I think the driving is pretty fun in this game. Like, it just feels nice.
Very loose, isn't it? I often feel like the cars have some weight to them. The bike seems to be quite light as well. Like, they have weight, but they still feel quite light and jolty.
Yeah. Alright, so I didn't talk at all about the last mission, I think. Just talked about tuning and very pitch stuff. But yeah, it doesn't matter too much. It's just driving, collecting money, dropping it off. Strangely, there's a lot of driving in the driver game. So yeah, this is just a race where unfortunately I also get shot a little bit. Because no fairness, I guess. But yeah, sometimes you can get the tire shot, which is quite annoying. Unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, fortunately there are backup bikes along the route. When it comes to like least favorite missions, I think that would be a bit easier, because like the missions where you don't do much, I guess, you just have to wait around. Like, what's that mission called on the race courses? That mission.
Is it the one where you have to take all the drivers out? That one?
Yeah.
Circuit Breaker, I think it is, isn't it?
Oh yeah, right. I mean, it's a good mission to take a break, but for the speedrun it's not great that you just have to wait around for minutes.
I mean, I've always been a fan of just smashing cars together, so that mission for me is like heaven.
Okay.
Time for some off-roading. I'm the man.
To just probably clarify something for those that are watching at the moment. So normally there is a soundtrack for this game, but unfortunately due to licensing and stuff like that, and copyright laws and all the rest of it, that's the reason why there's no music going in the background. Normally you'd have the 70s or the 2000s music, but for the sake of copyright infringement and stuff, that's the reason why there's no music. Just so everyone's aware.
Oh yeah. Kind of forgot already that I even had to turn off, because just something you have to do nowadays.
The same for Driver San Francisco as well, but well.
Alright, so I just tuned up another car, which is what I needed all the money for, and obviously the previous car. And that's both because I need a fast car for some missions, and also because I need to transfer the tuning of this car to the Ram Raider later. Also got some nice racing stripes. The custom bodywork actually affects the handling, so like turns a little bit better. I'm not sure how worth it is really, but it does help a little bit maybe. I don't know.
Never knew it affected the handling, that's a new one. We will say somebody in the design department thought it was a good idea to put like a purpley, is that like purpley pink colour? I don't know. As a colour for a car.
I don't know.
It's a weird colour, it's like magenta colour, I don't know. But it looks weird but nice at the same time. I don't know, there's a weird flamboyancy to that colour. You definitely wouldn't have trouble finding that in a car park. Like, where's my car? Oh yeah, oh there it is. It's just sat there.
Okay, so in this mission I need to get to this car first, which I mean, I have no trouble doing, obviously.
You gotta admire
And
that
then I need
Mexican
to drive
style,
this car
don't you?
back, and the other racers are going to try to ram into me, which isn't very nice of them, but hopefully I can avoid them. There's one here. It's often useful to... Okay, not quite avoided that one, but... There's also police chasing me.
Man, this car's slow.
Well, not chasing me yet, but
Oh, man.
they're gonna
Cops
chase me
as
when they see
well?
me. So the way the heat level system works in this game is you can have heat on the car or you can have heat on the person, and you see it on the left and on the right. On the left the bar is kind of filled, like the bar above the steering wheel. So that means when the police sees me, they're gonna chase me, and they're also gonna have larger vision cones. So they're gonna be more on the lookout for me. You can see that on the minimap. So when I drive into one of their vision cones, then they start chasing me. And for missions it usually matters not if you have heat on the car, but rather if you're in an active police chase. So to finish this mission, for example, I can't have the police directly on me, so as long as the minimap is still flashing I can't finish the mission. But hopefully I'll lose them before I get there anyway. There we go. And I can just drive through this. A conveniently placed car there.
Gotta get that transfer.
So in the safe house I collected some weapons, and I'm now gonna use these weapons, or one of those, to shoot this car. So I need to shoot it until it tells me to get in. It's like when it's a certain amount of health left, then it tells me to get in. And this is kind of bad, because probably gonna fail this mission because it was
Let's see how she handles.
kind of placed differently than I thought it was gonna be. Luckily it doesn't take long to redo the mission. But still, an actual run that would be reset. But it just still loses too much time. As you can see, I get shot a lot, so... I mean, there's some room for error, but not a lot. Yeah, I expect it to be like this, like the door right there. So I got kind of stun-locked a little bit by some of the police officers.
Take her for a spin? Sure, let's see what she can do. You won't regret this.
Alright, so in this mission
Beautiful car.
you need to scare the prison guard.
I feel sick. Now, I'm gonna ask some questions, and you're gonna answer.
And you can do it different ways, driving fast. You used to jump over a ramp, stuff like that. But I'm gonna try doing it by crashing into stuff, which actually needs to be very specific.
What do you think? They've shotgun. Slow down.
I'm just gonna do it a little bit slower here. Usually I want to
Hey, mister, watch the speed sign.
start crashing into stuff as soon as they stop talking.
Can we go back now, please? Soon. What's the best way in?
So yeah, the trick is to crash into the wall at a certain angle. And now there's police there.
You don't look so good. What's the police chopper response time?
I needed to crash once again, because I kind of screwed up earlier. But I also had the police right there, and then they would chase after me. It would be just a mess. So yeah, that mission also didn't go very well, but at least I didn't fail it. If you destroy the car too much, then you fail the mission. So you really have to crash into the wall at the right angle. I don't know why it even works, honestly, but if you crash the correct way, then it goes up pretty quickly without damaging the car too much. So here I just need to collect the packages, and the helicopter isn't going that fast, so I can take my time. Alright, so here I actually have to start going fast again. Because now the helicopter is going to be faster than me. Wow, okay. That was kind of close. It happens when you try to be careful and you go too slow and actually don't make the ramp.
Call the chopper.
Okay, some balancing over stuff here. My bike is kind of smoky. Alright, so here's the last package, and now I just need to drive back. I used to kind of drive back the same way that I got here, but I found a quicker route. Which isn't very obvious on the map because you can't really see that you can drive through there. It kind of looks the same as buildings. So around here you can just drive straight to the end basically. And it's also, this route is also a bit better in regards to police spawns at the end. For some reason police rarely spawns when you go this way. Sometimes, like with the old route, there often was police like at the end here. So you had to either avoid them or, I don't know. It was just a bit more annoying. Alright, so this mission, a few of the last missions have been in preparation for this. So I stole this van here. I scared the prison guard for like information. And now we're gonna do a jailbreak.
If I live to make 30, this will be the slowest thing I ever drive.
Police spawns are always kind of important in this game, because often you either want them or don't want them. Well, you want them in one mission, I guess, later on, but normally you don't want them. Like if
I have to admit, it feels like one of them. To be honest, like, one of these games when you do the run.
Actually moving backwards in this thing.
So the gate doesn't open when you have the police on you. And you're supposed to stop there, but why stop when you can just drive through? So the only difference is that the police chases you earlier. So unless you get stuck too much on that roadblock, it just saves time to not having to stop and accelerate again. I get out and try to only drop down once, okay, because that means only one landing animation. There's a strat where you can take a car from the road when the gate is already open. So when you're close enough to the prison. And then you can drive the car through that gap back there and all the way to the prison door. But you can get stuck if you don't drive through the gap properly, so I haven't practiced it that much yet, so just doing the old strat. I don't think it saves that much time anyway. Alright, so here you have to be quite careful, because you can get shot quite a lot. As opposed to what the prison guard told us, they don't only have shotguns. They also have AKs or whatever. So I'm shooting a very specific amount of people here to hopefully be safe. You mostly want to shoot the people that have the AKs, because those are particularly dangerous. It's a really specific way of getting through here. Like there's almost no room for error in like most places.
Wouldn't have been in there in the first place if some fucking idiots had done what I said. What's the point of me planning things down to the inch if people can't get closer than a block away? And if I say something's to the second, it's to the second.
You talking about me? Thought this was Bishop's plan.
Not you, numbnuts. Not this job. The job they put me in Rikers for.
Alright, now just have to drive back
Yeah, thanks, kid.
and
That's real helpful now. They were supposed to be professionals.
Well, you're welcome.
avoid the police if
This time
possible.
around, me, Bishop, getting you out. You're welcome.
Yeah, right. I should never
Which
have
I
been in
guess
there in
isn't
the first
possible. Maybe I
place.
should just go the old way again.
Can you
Like I used to
Why'd you think Bishop asked?
drive
Yeah,
along
well, just make sure they don't fucking catch
like
me
a
this time.
footpath or something on the side and then go through an alleyway, which is slower, but it's not slower when the police annoys you too much.
Who the hell taught you to drive?
Alright, just cutting through this park,
Are you trying to get
and
us caught?
there's a different way you can also go, but it has a bit more issues with police spawns. This one is usually better because you have the highway up above and a bunch of other roads. I'm also gonna shoot here to hopefully spawn police in front of me
Man, it's good to be out of that shithole.
rather than where I'm going. See, like on the minimap you see on the bottom left you can see a police car that may have spawned because I shot there. And the game thought I was going in that direction, I guess. So then I turned and didn't have
Do
the
you even
police
have a proper
in my way.
escape plan?
But they are rarely in the way here anyway because of the highway up above and stuff like that, so you usually have them spawn elsewhere. Alright, so this is the mission where you have to destroy all the opponents of this marked razor here, so I just have to crash into everyone and destroy them. And the track is kind of short, so I'm just gonna wait here for them to come around. And this is a good opportunity to take a break. Well, not before you destroyed the cars, but after you, like once you did that, you can usually have enough time to like take a short break. Okay, there they come. Just gonna accelerate and then turn into them. can perfectly not impede the progress of the racer. So now my car is smoking quite a bit. Luckily there are backup vehicles here.
Ironic, in the entire run, the only time of downtime is this bit, really.
Yeah, true.
I don't think there's any other mission where there's
Oh.
actually it has downtime. Maybe what's
Riding
it called?
shotgun.
Yeah, riding shotgun. Yeah.
But that's much
Hey, what
shorter.
are you doing?
Like the downtime is much shorter because you still have to, like on the bridge you can like not shoot anything and get away with it, but otherwise you have to still shoot the pursuers to not fail the mission. There's a trick here where you can make the racer skip part of the track, but it's kind of risky because it can fail the mission.
Stay out of my way.
Wow, I'm kind of destroyed. Don't have a right front wheel anymore. I think it's fine anyway, maybe? I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, there's this loop here. And if you position yourself here and drive forwards like at the right time, like have a car back here as well to block the way and then drive forwards at the last minute, last second, whatever, then the racer will turn to the left and skip the loop, which might save a little bit of time. But they can also crash into the wall here, and if that happens too much they get destroyed, so I'd rather not risk that, to be honest. So yeah, I guess they sorted themselves out and the racer is first, so now it's just waiting.
Could definitely do with some elevator music or something. There's something that's like, please stand by.
And then after this it's gonna be the same thing again, just on a different track.
I have to admit, I've got to give that guy that's just on his own. He's got 3 wheels, and yet he's like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get to the end of this race if it kills me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the racer.
You can actually go up there, I think.
I've never actually tried going up there. You actually get a good view from there. It's like, yeah, I can just stand here and watch.
I need the car though, so better get back.
Funnily enough, that I think the racers like took 2 of the cars out because after you'd smashed them and took a wheel off and they were smoking, 2 of the cars that were ahead of him, he's knocked them out. So I'm like, okay, there's only 1 more left.
And there we go. Need to wait for the fade. Right, so this track is longer, so I'm just gonna keep driving around with them.
Hey, what are you doing? Get away from me, man.
Hey, this second race is pretty much Destruction Derby.
Yeah.
It might as well be. It's so easy to write the cars as well.
Stay out of my way.
Kind of wreck themselves sometimes when they're too close to each other.
Hey, the Andek's already going Already got black smoke, so that's already in trouble.
I'm also smoking a bit, so I'm just gonna be safe and exchange the car first.
I can't remember. Did we used to use, or did we used to use the what's it called, the Serrano Racer later on?
Yeah. Like
can't
after
remember
this
if we
mission
did.
you get 2 different race cars in the garage. And yeah, some strats that use that. But the thing is now that the race cars actually can't have as much tuning as like the normal Serrano. So for transferring tuning onto another vehicle it doesn't really work. Even though the race car is pretty fast, it's like the tuning is like the tuning slots, basically like the engine upgrade slots and stuff is what matters.
Also, Ghost Rider has appeared, according to that server racer.
What do you mean?
The guy was on fire and still driving.
Oh.
I don't know how. I was like, okay, Ghost Rider has appeared.
Yeah, I mean if they're destroyed they also just sit in there. Yeah, let's just chill in this car.
Car's on fire, still sits there. He really is just chilling, isn't he? It must be cold though, that's probably why he's like, oh, put the fire on. Yeah, put my engine on fire, that'll do it. Game logic.
Alright, there we go. So now I just need for those texts to disappear. Like you can pause and unpause the game to make the texts disappear immediately, which I actually use in the game quite a bit. But it doesn't always work. Like there's more than one text in a row. It doesn't really work, doesn't really do anything.
I want.
Alright, I have to drive up these ramps. Now driving down this ramp here can be kind of tricky, because the car can flip. So the way I do it is just drive really slowly. I almost stop in front of the ramp and then accelerate, which for some reason seems to work fine. Maybe it's a matter of speed or I don't know. So here I want to kind of avoid getting police attention. We'll see whether that's gonna work out. Because at the end I need to drive into a marker and that only works when I don't have police on me. This is one mission I also don't really like that much. The car you drive for most of it isn't really that fun to drive. So the police in this game reacts to various things, to speeding. I'm not sure what the exact max speed is you're allowed to drive. But yeah, if you drive too fast and if you drive over red lights, if you obviously drive over or even scare pedestrians, if you crash into stuff, they're quite strict. You can avoid driving over red lights if you just don't drive like where you're supposed to go. If you just drive like on the lane next to it, like I guess it's where vehicles park here or whatever, then you don't actually drive over the red light for the game. Alright.
Just drive up.
So now I have a damage meter, so I can't crash too much or the car explodes and the mission fails. So I want to be kind of careful. And also again avoid the police because they can be quite annoying. Normally it wouldn't matter, but just so they don't crash into me too much or cause me to crash.
Put that there.
So I'm just slowing down to about 60 next to the police. I'm a law-abiding citizen. This bit is always a bit annoying, there's so much traffic. Yeah, so this car is kind of slow, it doesn't handle very well. You have to go strange routes. You have to avoid the police. You have to do like an annoying jump at the start, which can fail the mission. So not quite that nice. So the next mission coming up is actually... What's the next mission? Yeah, Kidnap is the next mission. That's actually quite difficult now. Because that has a new stretch, which I tuned the tow truck for. Alright, that's going to retrieve the truck. Right, so normally I would take this car here, which is parked right out front, and then you would just well, the intended way is to like do all kinds of stuff, like do all kind of like roadblocks and diversions, and I don't know. The speedrun used to be go to just drive straight through the airport and ignore everything and then steal the limo with the guy we want to kidnap there. And this threat now is to steal the limo part way, which usually is quite difficult because they have an escort which just shoots you to death. But now we're gonna use this tow truck here to tow the car. Gonna have to be... This can go wrong very easily, so let's see if this works out. It's still really dangerous.
Shit! They're not headed for the ambush. TK, take out the escort cars and get Martinez back to Hunt's Point. I'll try to...
Alright, perfect. Okay. Let's just get around this corner. Okay, good. So, as you could see, they had two escort cars which shoot you a lot. So I parked the car that I was towing initially as kind of a roadblock, so the limo drives into the wall a little bit and slows down, so I can easier hook it up, and it also prevents the escort cars from catching up immediately. So I can hook up the car that is now a bit slower and at least doesn't immediately have the escort. And it's kind of difficult to do that because there can be a billion different things that can happen. Sometimes the car like gets turned around and kind of stuck, and then I might have to even like get out and just steal it from right there. Sometimes it drives over the barrier and I have to chase it and like improvise, like hook it up on the bridge while it's driving pretty quickly. Sometimes I don't know, sometimes just drives past me really quickly because obviously the limo accelerates a lot faster than the tow truck does, so it can be kind of difficult. Which is also why I kind of needed the tuning, so I have a bit more agile at least. But yeah, this entire trick is quite difficult, but it saves having to drive to the airport and then waiting there and then driving the limo to where we're going now. And you can also see that there's no traffic on the road, which is why it's a lot easier to drive this, especially with the door partly open. Because this door on the limo you see there is actually quite solid, so if you would drive into anything with it, it's like it doesn't rip off or anything. So yeah, the traffic, my theory for the traffic not being there is that the game disables the traffic while the limo is on the bridge, I guess, so it doesn't get stuck or something. And if you steal it there, then the traffic just stays disabled. But yeah, this trick saves, I don't know how much actually, but a considerable amount of time, like minutes or something. So it's quite nice if it works out. Alright, I'm just retrieving the tuned up car for this because it needs to be, I need to do a bit of driving and I have a free choice of car for this.
You better be ready, kid.
Did you see that? They just walked over the car, just casually walking over the car instead of the sidewalk. Quite funny. Alright, so in the last mission we kidnapped a guy. This mission is we need to collect the ransom. And the mission is aptly called Ransom. So this car I tuned up for use in the mission earlier, the race mission earlier, Rosalita Racer, and for this mission, and then for the first mission in the next era, and then also to transfer the tuning onto the Ram Raider. So it's a multi-purpose vehicle basically. These cars are parked interestingly. Right now I need to switch to this bike because it has the ransom or whatever. And he's supposed to do all kinds of jumps over roofs, but it's kind of slow. So I'm just dropping down here. Like, it's not the most direct way over the roofs, and well, I mean, I guess it is kind of direct, but you also get a bunch of slow down animations, like slow motions. So just driving normally on the road is faster. Oh yeah, this is, we forgot about this, I guess. This is also an auto-scroller, which can be a break, but not too much. I mean, you're not doing something all the time, but like this mission is interesting because if the truck gets destroyed, then you don't fail the mission, but you just have to drive on your own, which would be faster, but this helicopter up here sometimes takes really long to catch up with you, but the game wants you to destroy it. Sometimes that doesn't happen, sometimes it follows you nicely, but it's just like this time, for example, it kind of seems to follow. I don't know if I should let myself be destroyed now. It can be faster. There's the helicopter again. Usually it doesn't follow like that. I don't know when that happens or when it doesn't happen. Okay, that's destroyed.
It's up to you now, kid. Get
Yes,
the
I'm
ransom to Hunt's Point.
doing this then. I don't know if this is really faster, but it shouldn't be slower at least. Maybe. Really? This car handling, wow. Yeah, that's another thing with this strat. It's a bit inconsistent because it depends on what car you randomly get on the road. So usually because the helicopter doesn't follow me, I just stay in the truck. Alright, and now the game crashes. That's normal. So every time on the error change, for some reason, the game crashes. And now we're in 2006. So no car right here, so I'm just gonna walk to the garage. It's a bit slower to walk into the marker here, but if you don't have a car immediately, it's... I mean, chasing down the car wouldn't be very fast either. So. Alright, so yeah, TK was like framed for all the stuff they did over there, and it was in prison for a really long time. And now we have to... it's years later and just trying to take revenge. And this first mission is the Mexican, so one of the group that did all of that to us, or to TK. By chasing him down, by chasing down the train, but I mean, it's a train, so I know where it goes. Luckily this is not like one of those GTA missions where if you lose the train then you somehow fail the mission, because you know, you lose something that's on tracks and you know exactly where it goes. So I can just drive as quickly as possible to where it goes. This section's a bit annoying because there's roads crossing here and I don't really see if there's traffic, so it's fine. Need to avoid these ramps. And then drive down here. Okay. Ouch. I hit the apex perfectly. Okay, so you also lost all your weapons, so left with this pistol here. But I'm gonna collect a few weapons right here. Well, one weapon really, but a lot of ammo for it. Convenient health pickups all around as well.
It's like it knows that you're gonna get shot a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I always struggle with this mission the most. I've really no idea why, but...
Alright. Wait a little bit. If you wait a little bit in the cutscene there, then it's easier to chase down the car for whatever reason. Like, it doesn't have as much of a head start. No idea why that is, but I guess waiting in the cutscene positions the car differently. I don't know. Alright, so I collected all that ammo, mostly for this mission, I guess. So I can shoot this car.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you gotta lose the heat.
This car, the car that I was chasing also can go two different ways. This way is usually faster, I think. It would turn to the left here, so it's important to chase it down quickly.
Wanna go meet this girl or not?
Because before it goes left there, then it still travels in the same direction that I need to go anyway to finish the mission. So I'm gonna shoot a little bit here to spawn police. I want to spawn them early enough so that I lose them when I get to the mission, instead of them spawning right where I need to end the mission. It's not foolproof by any means, but it can help, I think. Like, manipulating police spawns is tricky, but it just requires a lot of experimentation, I guess. See what works and what doesn't. Oh yeah, this one is interesting as well. So I'm going to warp to the safe house and then wait for the next mission to spawn. Let's hope I can do it. Alright, nice. So the thing is, when you drive a car into the safe house here, then you get teleported outside. So what I do is... wait a second, okay. What I do is... I actually was supposed to leave the car for this. Whatever. So yeah, I have time to explain it here. So when you drive into the safe house, you get teleported outside. So I drove into the safe house. Just before I got teleported, started the mission. So once it started the mission, I got teleported away from like where you're supposed to be in the mission. And in that mission, you have to conveniently get away from the people that chase you. So I used the teleport to basically instantly pass the mission. So yeah, this mission is kind of similar to the last one in the previous area, but in this case you're not allowed to get the truck destroyed, otherwise you fail the mission. So I have to keep shooting them. On this bridge you don't have that many people chasing you, so it doesn't really... You could get away with not shooting for a while here. I also used to shoot the helicopter down until one run it exploded right next to me and killed me, so now I'm just ignoring it. What can also sometimes happen is that this truck, which unfortunately isn't on rails really, it just is an AI driving it, it sometimes can get stuck. And then the game falls back to kicking you out of the truck and telling you to drive to the location yourself. If you could force that to happen somehow, that would be quite great because it would save a lot of time. Unfortunately, we haven't found a way to force that to happen. It's really annoying when it does happen, in a way, because it just creates a run where it's really random whether you can actually beat that again. Like at least beat the time in that mission again. Because it just saves a lot of time, but it's just completely random. And almost never happens.
Yeah, it's quite inconsistent, isn't it? I think I've had it happen once where the trucks crashed into a tree and got stuck. And then obviously just drive to the end, but supposedly we tried a couple of things like putting the car where the truck would start and you'd have to push a car, but that doesn't work because the car despawns, so it's like, oh, okay then.
Yeah.
If, like you said, if we find a consistent way, then it'll definitely save minutes, there's no doubt about that.
In a way I would kind of prefer if these missions just were like completely scripted on rails. So the car, like the truck, always goes the exact same way. Because it's kind of annoying that like stuff you don't have any control over just can like save or cost you a lot of time. Because sometimes it also gets stuck for a while, but then gets free again and just keeps on driving, so it just lost a lot of time. It's annoying. Alright, so they're just gonna die back there without even shooting them. And that's the cue to stand up.
We got some engine trouble. I gotta pull over here.
And now to one of the fastest vehicles in the game. Maybe the fastest? I don't know. Unfortunately you can't keep this bike. That would be very nice. I think when you have music enabled, it always plays like that song, like Addicted to Speed or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but that's a line from it at least. Which seems very fitting. The nice thing about going this fast is also that if you pass the police, they don't even have time to react and turn into you usually. So you can just drive past them. Alright, so at the end of this I also need to not have the police on me. Yeah, usually you get like a last spawn here and then it takes a few seconds to lose them. So usually I have to wait a little bit here. If you drive too close to the gate, it doesn't open once you lose the police, so you have to like stay away a little bit first. Alright, now I want to get a vehicle. Just anything really. For the next mission. You have to wait for the next mission to spawn anyway. Ram Raider. So this is the first part of the Ram Raider mission. Well, it's not really the mission, it's another trap. Like one of those that we actually skipped earlier. Like insta-pass earlier. This one, unfortunately, works differently somehow, so you can't insta-pass it. Oh, okay. Second shot wasn't even necessary. Alright. And this is the actual Ram Raider mission. As you can see in the top right, I also have a lot of ammo for this gun. And I think for the other one as well, yeah, 2000. And that's because of riding shotgun, which was like the auto-scroller, like the last mission, yeah. Did I really just go the wrong way? I was thinking about mission names and went the wrong way. Genius. So yeah, the last mission where he was on the truck and we're shooting like the pursuers, I guess it's a bug in the mission where it takes away all your weapons, but then gives the weapons back at the end. But it calculates the ammo wrong, so if you have like some ammo in reserve or whatever, then it just multiplies that by the clip size, so you get a lot of ammo from it. So yeah, here you just have to drive through pawn shops and destroy them. I shoot at the same time, so I destroy some more stuff. So usually I can just do it in one pass. What? Sometimes traffic gets in the way. There we go. And one last one. After the last one I also have to destroy 2 cars. Alright, this can be kind of tricky, aiming out of the... Yes, aiming out of the car. Okay, I'm just gonna preserve some ammo and just use the... Usually I want to shoot twice and with the rocket launcher where I have limited ammo. But aiming and hitting something with the rocket launcher can be kind of tricky. Alright, so here I'm selecting this car again. Then selecting the entry car. And now I've transferred the tuning onto the Ram Raider, which makes it a lot faster than it's supposed to ever be, as far as I know. Which is I mean, obviously useful, but it's also especially useful for this mission where you have to chase down cars and they're all going in various different directions. So the faster you get them before they spread out, the more time you save. Excuse me. That usually doesn't happen. Now this is gonna be a bit slower than it's supposed to be because that car crashed and I can't shoot backwards. So in this mission you're usually supposed to go into the car to check them for drugs, but you only have to trigger them and then the last car is gonna be the correct one. So once you trigger them by shooting them enough, then you just have to drive to the last car. So yeah, usually I would get this last car on this intersection here, but since one of the cars didn't behave and crashed.
Aw, man, why is it always the last place you look?
Really? I just can't hit any rocket shots. Alright, wait a little bit, and then I'm going to the garage again, and again selecting the wrecker,
Thanks. You've been a big help.
because I need it again for this mission. So I'm restarting this because for some reason it works better when I restart. I don't know if the AI is different or something, but alright, so same idea as the other mission, except this time it's a bit easier because I don't get shot, and the point where I hook up the car is right at the start. Like, I'm supposed to escort this car, but I mean it's really slow. I have to do, like, it doesn't go the most direct ways there, like I have to destroy roadblocks and stuff like that. So the idea is the same, just to hook it up and tow it to the end of the mission. But yeah, it's a bit easier. You hook it up at the start, so if you fail it you can just restart and try again. You don't get shot a lot, so yeah, it's basically the easier version compared to the kidnap one earlier. At the start the car kind of drives always the same way, so it's not even that difficult to hook it up compared to, like, if you would try it like somewhere in between where there's a lot of traffic in the way as well and everything is more chaotic. But yeah, if you don't restart the mission it seems to behave differently. Like, I have a lot of issues hooking it up before restarting the mission once. I don't know what it is. It could just be that it's in a different position, but I don't know. Or rather, I'm in a different position because the car is oriented, like my truck is oriented a little bit differently. But anyway, another nice thing about towing this is that you don't have any police spawns for some reason. So all you really have to do is, excuse me? Okay, is just drive back to the end of the mission. And now shell shock. So here I want to shoot the front of this truck so it gets pushed out of the way. And I kind of didn't hit it perfectly. I'm just not good at rockets today, I guess. But you still get the idea, like push the truck out of the way so you can just drive through instead of doing the normal way, which would be going like over a jump and stuff. And then you also have to lose the two police cars? No. The two cars behind you, which if you don't crash usually is fine. If you take the jump then it's also much harder to lose them, so not only is taking the jump out of that area slower, just because it's like a slow motion jump. It's also harder to lose the guys that chase you, so you would have to kill them and stuff. Alright, Slink. It's another mission where I use a rocket. Let's see if this one works. Usually this is a lot easier. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to select the Ram Raider for this because I need it later. And it can also be used in this mission. Using a Ram Raider in this mission, well, the tuned up Ram Raider, can be a little bit faster, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. But I want it for the next mission, and I also want to do a teleport for the start of the next mission, so I need the Ram to be in the Ram Raider already before starting the mission. Well, when ending this mission, I guess. You can also go another way, which is a little bit faster, but it has a lot of traffic, so usually prefer this way. Do I have rockets? I have basically one rocket to spare, I guess. Wow. Don't think I've hit a single rocket. Well, out of the car at least. On foot I actually hit one. Alright, so for this mission it's a similar idea as like the Instapass earlier. I drive into here and then teleport back here instead of where the mission actually starts. Need to wait for the truck effect to go away. And in this case it's just because driving from here is a little bit faster. It's a little bit closer. And I need police spawns, which incidentally also work better when you go this way. So that was actually a pretty good spawn. But yeah, usually you would come from the direction, from like this direction where I'm driving now. Like the other way obviously. And there's a lot of bridges up ahead. So the police loves to spawn on those bridges instead of where you need it to be. So like using the safe house teleport and then starting the mission from there is not only closer, but it's also better for police spawns. But yeah, in this mission you have to lure the police into certain places. So as opposed to the rest of the game where you usually don't want police, in this you want to, well, you want to have police spawns as well as want them to actually chase you and not like lose them. Okay, this tunnel didn't go very well. I'm just gonna take this spawn, I guess, because there's already 2 police spawns on the map. Usually you can only have 2 police cars spawned at the same time. I mean, in missions and stuff it can sometimes be different, but really? Wow. So we used to do this mission on a bike, because it was one of the fastest vehicles you could have at this point. But the tuned up Ram Raider is just really good. And it's much safer as well, like like all of these, like where the police car pushed me or like crashes and stuff. Even though you still lose a little bit of health when you're, well, when you're in a car, it's still a lot safer than when you fall off the bike. Also have some nitrous left over. Might as well use that now. I mainly got the nitrous for the rush hour mission where you have to chase the cars which disperse in all directions. So in that mission it's really important to get out that little bit of top speed. But I think usually nitrous isn't really that helpful. It's really just helpful for these cases where, well, time-wise it's not helpful. Because buying it obviously costs some time, and I don't know if you actually get the time back by being faster. But for missions where you have to be that extra bit faster to save more time than you actually save by just being faster, it's worth it. Another mission is like for the tow truck missions where I hooked up stuff with the tow truck. It can be quite helpful to get away faster or to just be more agile. Alright, so this last spawn was pretty decent as well. I mean, ideally you want them to spawn as close as possible to where I need to go. So that you don't have to have them chase you for too long, because I mean they're always gonna be slower than you drive yourself, so. Alright, so this mission I'm getting this fast bike here also. And then I need to destroy a tank with rockets. So I'm just slowly driving forwards and then 2 more rockets and that's it. And I store the bike in the garage just by entering the garage. Get back on the bike because I want it for this mission. I mean, this isn't too long of a drive, but might as well take the fast bike. The only downside of taking the bike here is if you get the tire shot on the bike, then you have to use a slower bike later on, but other than that, it's good. Alright, so take this. Need to kill the driver here and then get in. Can also get the tire shot on this limo, which is pretty bad. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Did it happen? I'm still going fairly fast, but the limo seems kind of not even. But as long as I'm going like 80 something, it's fine. Yeah, push me. Not from the side, from the back. Those police cars are part of the mission, so eventually you lose them. But not quite yet. But there's also other police that can get in the way. Normal spawns. So yeah, I'm still going, like it's not a fast vehicle, so I'm still going to normal speed, I think. Alright, so on this bridge I'm gonna shoot so that I get spawns on this bridge, ideally. And that's again to, well, not for this, I can assure you. I was a bit unlucky that they spawned right where I didn't need them. Okay, that's really unlucky because usually they just crash into the barrier instead of driving through those things. So yeah, the idea is to get the spawns early enough so that I lose them before I get to where I need to go. It wouldn't be a marathon run without things that don't usually happen.
Nice place, huh?
Yeah, it's just how I thought it'd be.
Good. Now clear the place of guards.
Alright, so I need to kill the guards here. This guy drops a minigun, there's also another minigun spawn there. This guy is hiding sometimes, so I'm just rocketing him. That guy was hiding behind a tree, that's kind of annoying. Let's have a very specific way of doing this. No, just switch to the rocket launcher. There's 2 guys in there. There's 2 guys up there and 1 guy in here.
Thought these guys were supposed to be pro.
And I escape to skip the getting in animation and stuff. Wow, these cars are a bit annoying today. Also got a tire shot, I think, but luckily I don't have to go far. Driving through that grass area is enough to lose them, unfortunately. Alright, I'm just gonna turn around because I need to drive in here. And then get this police car. Alright, so in this mission you have to infiltrate a police station. So, very convenient police car there. And I have a bit of heat on me, like you see on the right. I have heat on the person, so the police won't immediately chase me, but if they're close enough or long enough, then they will. But I mean, I'm also gonna break some traffic laws, I guess, so gonna chase me regardless, probably. I haven't really had a lot of police spawns yet. This is again one of those missions where you can't have the police on you when you go to like when you enter the marker. So hopefully there's no police in the way. Okay. Good. I just need to drive in here. And I'm gonna use the minigun for this. Little shortcut there. Just shoot out the class. The cops don't see the class being destroyed, I guess. Okay, that's not how this is supposed to go. I still made it. I want to shoot that guy while I'm walking, but without aiming. Because if you just shoot without aiming, you just walk the normal speed. Interestingly, also, if you stand still, you can switch targets more quickly for some reason. I don't know if that's intentional. I mean, it might be, I don't know. Alright, just drive through here and hopefully I don't get the tire shot. Hopefully I'm not stupid enough to hit the wall. Well, let's drive out of here again. I don't think that ever happened to me, honestly. I wonder if they actually did shoot my tire and that's why I hit the wall. I don't know. Because the handling definitely changes when you get a tire shot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that excuse. Right, for this elevator I should lose them. Alright, and I'm going to retrieve the bike, make sure it's the correct bike, because they have other slower bikes in the garage as well.
When you're through playing he's at the safe house.
And now to the last mission. So, just a bit of driving at the start. This is the bike that I stored after one of the previous missions where I destroyed the tank. So yeah, let's get rid of this ammo actually. I don't want this weapon later. I didn't want to get rid of... Oh, actually I did want to get rid of that ammo, I guess. Because at the end I only want 3 rocket ammo. Because I'm gonna try to shoot down a helicopter, but if I don't do it after 3 shots, then I'll have to switch to the machine gun anyway.
Just let us know when time is at the end and I'll stop the timer.
Alright. So yeah, basically, as far as the story goes, we like took revenge or killed or whatever everyone except the last biggest, most influential guy, and that's the one chasing now here. Right, just park the bike here. And you just have to go up to here. And he's gonna flee with a helicopter. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna try to shoot this guy again. This time it worked. And there's another guy here. No, not the bike, TK. What the fuck? Did TK really just shoot his own wife? Genius. I mean, I guess the game doesn't really know, but still. Alright, now I just need to do a little bit of a drive. Preferably without crashing, because I don't have a lot of health. So I'm gonna take it slightly careful. The annoying thing about the annoying thing about this part is that if you have to restart, then I don't think you get the bike back. At least, I mean, I think in the tunnel you get, like once you reach the tunnel. But if you would die around here, then I don't think you have the bike, so because the checkpoint doesn't include it. So I might take it a little bit more careful here.
You are not getting away.
Alright, so I reach the tunnel, it should be fine.
The tunnel's collapsing. Get out of there now.
And time is gonna come up soon, depending on whether I get this shot or not.
Shoot that son of a bitch down.
Okay, I didn't fully get it, but partly at least. And time.
GG.
Yeah, that was pretty horrible, but what was my estimate?
Estimate was 150.
So,
Your time was 148.36.
so I guess that's a success. I lost a couple of minutes already to start when I didn't get like the money, like donut stall trick, but I mean that's just kind of random. And then lots of other stuff, but I mean, I'm happy that the main new strats worked pretty well, so that's good. Could
Yeah,
show
it's interesting seeing some of them as well. Because like the tow truck with the limo, for example, I didn't even know you were doing that. I was always like the tune thing as well with the tow truck. That's obviously saved a lot of time on it, as you said.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had a lot of help in the Driver speedrunning Discord with that. Like I didn't find all of these things alone.
Go say it, and they all lived happily ever after for now. Kind of like one of them. You might as well have it. I don't know. I like Parallel Lines end. I think it's a good ending, to be honest. It's a weird ending because if you don't pay attention to the story, if you like speedrunning wise, it's quite straightforward. But it's like, right, okay, we're doing all these missions and in this order for a reason. And then obviously you get to the end, it's like, okay, helicopter goes down, that's it, game over. Like, oh, okay then. But with that, thank you for showing off that run to Tduva. I knew we could rely on you for that one because this is more your bag, isn't it, than anything else?
Yeah. It's a fun game.
You got any final words or?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I guess.
No
Hope you enjoyed the run.
No worries. Thanks very much for showing it off.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, for those that are interested in picking this game up, you can get it on Steam. And obviously you can buy it on disc if you want to. There is a PS2 and a Wii version. Although PC is the better version because you get to warp, as Tduva said before.
I have the GOG version. Good Old Games version, GOG.com.
There you go, and GOG. GOG, however you want to say it, yeah. The GOG version. I don't really, there's not really any differences there between the GOG version and Steam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, not that I found, yeah.
Also, it's probably worth noting as well that game crash that happens between eras, that's quite consistent. If you don't get it and you happen to play through the entire run without it crashing, then it's kind of like a godsend, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very rare that it's happened, though. I think, is it in your PB run it didn't crash for you, or did it?
No, I think it always crashed for me, like in every run.
Even then, there you go. It's technically 3 times though if you get it, but again, it's like the Guardian Angel one as well, where the truck crashes or not. There's a lot in it, really. Quite an interesting game to pick up and run if you are interested in doing it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Driver San Francisco Any Percent by Jay Gorham. So thank you very much, Tduva, and we'll head to a break, and we'll see you very shortly.